is nice enough to join us right now. We go inside the 49ers locker room presented by Harris Ranch Beef. Visit your local Chavez supermarkets for all your beef and tailgating needs. Deebo Samuel, nice enough to join us here on 95.7 The Game. Damon and Ratto. Deebo, thank you for joining us this afternoon. How was practice today? Meetings go well? Everything wrapped up? You ready to go?
Oh, yeah, of course. Meetings went well. Practice went well. You know, we're 48 hours away from the game, so we kind of slowed the tempo down today at practice. More of a mental focused day for us, getting everything going, and we'll hit the ground back running tomorrow.
Man, I know it's all look ahead, because there's no looking back. There's nothing happening behind an NFL player. It's everything that's in front of them. But we have to ask you about the play that you made on Monday Night Football. There are an awful lot of Deebo Samuel highlights. I don't think we've ever seen a better one than that, man. That was an unbelievable moment for you, I think, in your career that we're going to be talking about. No matter what else you might do, we're going to be talking about that one for a long time. Do you think that might be one of your best plays in football so far?
I think so as I go back and look at it, but none of this happened if you don't see, you know what I'm saying, the block downfield by Juice and Kittle to kind of break free going across, and then the pancake block on the other side from Brandon Ayuk and the offensive line, giving Jimmy enough time to make the throw.
When you're making that play, are you better at figuring out when you've got the space you need to make a play like that than you were last year or the year before? I guess what I'm asking is, how much better are you at reading a play as it's going on, not ahead of the play, but as it's happening? How much better are you at figuring out, I've got to do this because this is going to happen when I do?
I don't even think about stuff like that, actually. I'm just a guy that play off instincts, and I think I have great field awareness and great feel for where people's going to be, and like I'm always a run the space type of guy. When it's space there, I'm going to hit it full speed and let everything else happen for us, breaking tackles or making the right decision.
You think Jalen Ramsey's ever going to try to grab your ankle again? I guess that's a no.
Yeah, it would seem to be.
Deebo Samuel here on 95.7 The Game. We were talking about before you joined us, Bobby Wagner making the play on the fan who came out on the field. It felt like that might have been the only single time where everybody in the stadium was happy with the Los Angeles Rams. Even Kyle Shanahan after the game said that he loved it. What do you think should happen to players who run on the field of an NFL game?
It wasn't a player that ran on.
No, a fan. Yeah, sorry, not. What do you think should happen to that fan?
I mean, me looking into it, I feel like a lot of it just shows like the amount of energy that, we bring to the fans and how much, they want to get close to us or whatever, and what they're willing to risk it, just to even get out there on the field just to see how it feels. I think it's cool, but there's always consequences to every action that you choose to do, and I don't know what I would do in that moment if I'm the people to make the decisions on whether to ban them from games or not. But that ain't something I just take deep thought into. So I mean, I just let it be. As long as nobody got hurt during the process, I mean, it's cool.
How much better are you in your mind as a player than you were even last year? And if so, where do you see that improvement? What are the things that you see now that you say, I can do this better than I did a year ago?
I don't know, because as I go back and look at last year, there's a lot of things I did last year that I didn't even know I could do. So as the season go, I think it'll end up still kind of being the same way. I was just focused on being in better shape and running routes, but that's just what receivers do, and I just put it on display every week.
When it comes to how you actually get used in a game, Deebo, does it start with that week's game plan, or does it sort of materialize in the game itself? How often, have you talked with Kyle about the amount of plays you might see at running back as opposed to lining up at wide receiver one or in the slot? Do you talk about it much going into the game, or does it just kind of happen in the game and then you're just hopping into whatever role you're asked to hop into?
Nah, it's always game plan. Cal do a good job of not overdoing the run game, but doing enough to help out the other guys on the team, and not just only me. You see Juwan Jennings line up in the backfield this past weekend, and it's not just only me. I just think Cal just used that genius of football brain that he has, and just, try everything possible to help his offense win.
Does it feel like you guys are more back on track now after that win on Monday Night Football? Because the year started weird, man. It started in a monsoon. Then you got Trey Lance going down in the Seahawks game. Then it was just a weird game in Denver for sure. Does it feel like you got your feet underneath you guys now?
It was good to get the win, but as we go back and look at the tape, there's a ton of stuff that we still need to figure out. So I wouldn't say we're back on track, but it was good to get that win on our belt and give us a lot more confidence.
If you're not sure how much better you are than you were a year ago, what are the differences you see in how defenders play you? Do they try to give you more room? Are
They just all play the same. They ain't changed.
Okay, flesh that out a little bit. How do they play you now? And are you surprised that they haven't changed?
Nah, because not to say too much, but I don't think they'll change the way they play. I mean, you just know what I'm saying. They just know I'm a physical type of guy, and they try to figure out ways to stop it. But there's not too much you can actually do.
I don't think that there is a lot of players in the entire sport of football going through the college ranks who do what you do. I mean, you are almost in a group of one in terms of your skill set and what you bring, but it doesn't seem to be like, you would think that more players would be able to do what you do if running with the football in space is the job. Why aren't there more guys who can do that job either out of the backfield or catching the ball? Are you surprised that there aren't more guys trying to copycat your style of play?
I mean, not. There's not another guy in this league that has the mentality and the mindset that I have whenever the ball in my hand. We got a lot of great guys with the ball in our hand. Everybody has their own mentality, but my mindset and mentality that I go out there with week in and week out, I think it's just unmatched.
When you look around the league at other receivers, is there a guy that you particularly like to watch that you think, man, I want to mix a little of that into what I do?
No, not necessarily.
When you look at Cooper Kupp get like 15 to 20 targets week in, week out, is there any jealousy of that? Do you think, man, what if I got fed the ball like that?
Nah, no jealousy at all. We handle what we handle in our building. That's all we care about.
If you haven't noticed that they play you any differently than they did last year or the year before, do you try to anticipate what they might do in the future, or do you just take this play by play and you say they're doing this, so I do that?
We just go by play, and whatever happens out there just happens.
Deebo Samuel here on Damon and Ratto. We spend so much time talking about quarterbacks. You probably have heard that there was a little discussion around Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo last year. This year, the reins were supposed to be given to Trey, and they indeed were until he breaks his ankle, and now it's back with Jimmy Garoppolo. Can you tell us how much different that makes your job at all? Did you have to start playing or getting used to playing one way with another quarterback, and now you return to what you used to do with Jimmy?
Nah, that doesn't change. It's the way we use the quarterbacks, because that's what makes Trey so dangerous is his legs. So that's just what made it. It was just a little different, but as far as the pass plays, run plays, all that's still the same. Nothing changed.
It felt like that there was, with Trey and you both lining up in the backfield, a potential for some NFL razzle-dazzle that would have even brought us back to like a Oklahoma wishbone. Like no one else in the NFL can even try to do this except you two guys. How much of what might have we seen this year now will we not see till next year?
I don't know. I wouldn't put too much out there.
Oh, not tipping away the playbook. It's a good idea.
Have you noticed that at least through the first 4 games, that that Kyle Shanahan is using you at all differently than he did a year ago? Or is this what, A, you expected to do, and B, that it's what you were doing last year?
I think it's the same thing that I was just doing last year.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Is he using you the same number of carries? Go ahead.
That's kind of a rhetorical question, but he just, you know what I'm saying, screens, all type of ways getting in the backfield. I just think it's all just the same.
So Jerry Rice came on our morning show, Deebo, and he was talking about the touchdown you scored. I want to play for you about a 30-second soundbite of Jerry Rice seeing a little of himself maybe in you.
For Deebo to make that catch the way he did, then to have the vision to take it to the end zone. You know, it brought back a lot of memories because I'm saying to myself, man, because he made some cuts that reminded me of someone else, you know, back in the day. You know, to have that vision and really get into pay dirt, you know, where you drop 6 on them. I think it was a fantastic play, but it had a lot to do with his vision on the football field and, you know, his teammates helping him to get to the end zone.
Deebo, what does it mean to you to have the greatest wide receiver, maybe the greatest football player of all time, talk about you like that?
I mean, that's a blessing, you know what I'm saying? Whenever I get a chance to talk to Jerry, you know, we always communicate all the time whenever we get the chance. But, you know, it's just great to hear something like that coming from the great.
In what ways, and you don't have to get into too much detail, obviously, in what ways is Carolina's defense different than any of the defenses you've faced so far?
Once you put too much out there, I wouldn't tip my head off that one. I wouldn't say nothing about that.
Okay.
No commenting on the Panthers. As you guys get ready, is this a little bit of a homecoming game for you? You didn't grow up too far away from where Carolina plays. Will you have a bunch of family and friends at this game?
Not yet. If they show up, they're gonna show up. But normally the same people that come to the home games that you know what I'm saying, they'll come to the game in Charlotte because it's close to home.
Nice. Who do you usually have as a family member who comes and watches you?
My mom, my dad, my little brothers, my partners I grew up with, my son, my girl.
When we were in an off season, or let's just say you were exploring options, did any of that have to do with wanting to be a little bit closer to home, or were you just trying to strike while the striking was right in the wide receiver market?
Nothing had to do with being close to home.
What had to do with, was it anything other than about getting paid what you think you're worth?
No comment.
Okay. All right. Was it hard for you to scrub your social media accounts of all San Francisco 49ers anything? Is that just kind of the normal way we go about negotiating now?
No comment.
Okay. Well, I tell you, I know you guys are getting ready for the Panthers. You have this East Coast trip, Deebo, where you guys pretty much set up shop now at the Greenbrier. You're going back there for a second year in a row in West Virginia. What do you like about the Greenbrier?
You know, it's a nice place. They got great fields. I mean, it's just something that I'm used to now. It's kind of like when we back to back on that side, we stay there, so I'm kind of used to it.
Now, I know that they have all sorts of different activities that you guys can maybe do in your free time, including falconry. Like you can go learn how to be a falconer. They actually have a stable of falcons and they like fetch prey and stuff. Do you think you should take a falconry class ahead of the week before you play the Atlanta Falcons?
No, sir.
Deebo, thank you for joining us. I tell you, it was good to talk to you. You're a man of few words, but you're a man of action, and that's really what matters on a football field. So continued success to you, continued health to you, and our friends at Harris Ranch Beef are going to give you 10 pounds of prime porterhouse steaks for you to enjoy with your family whenever you have your next cookout. We really appreciate your time today. Good luck with everything going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.